Before we begin, thank you very much to Fezes are red, bow ties are cool. I support TJ on Patreon, and so should you. For joining the Patreon campaign. That's fun. That's fun. It's like kind of poetic for the time of the year, which is nice. It's a Doctor Who reference. I like that too. So thank you very much. I do appreciate everyone who does support me. I don't say you have to listen to my newest patron, but I really do appreciate it, and it does help this channel survive and continue to produce daily content, which is always great. But no one has to. Don't think you have to. It's the holidays. Everyone's spending a lot. I understand if you can't. Hit like and subscribe instead. That also helps me out a lot. So, speaking of, like, someone clued me into these that are floating around Amazon, and it just kind of screamed of cash-in knockoff-y toy, but at the same time, it kind of looks cool. So this is a toy line from a Chinese company I dare not attempt to pronounce because I'm terrible at pronouncing Chinese names. Nevertheless, it is a toy line called Celestial Warriors, which is yet another Transformers alternative line that we will be exploring today. Now, in this video, we will be exploring the entire toy line, and I will be telling you about literally every figure that they have produced for Celestial Warriors. Which is to say, every single one is exactly the same. All the real changes they've done is sometimes they change the robot head, and they change the animal head from version to version. In total, you have about 2 robot heads to choose from, with the tigers getting unique ones, and all the other animals kind of getting just like the same old generic head. But you've got a lion, an elephant, a white tiger, a Bengal tiger, a wolf, what appears to be a polar bear, and what appears to be a dragon that you could have chosen from. So, okay, 7 varieties on this. I would show you the back of the box, which shows every single variety all together. However, Amazon saw fit to just plaster a shipping label onto the back of it, and it's on so tight I can't get it off without ripping up the box. So rather than doxing myself, just take my word for it, all the different varieties are on the back in one big splash image. So, promises 2-mode conversion, ages 6 to up, etc. So we can take solace in that. I will say, it does seem like they do come with different weapons. So, like, the white tiger is going to come with this railgun looking thing. There's a sword that comes with a Bengal. We see a rifle. Well, no, actually, no. I take that back. Same railgun. Looks like only the Bengal tiger gets a unique weapon. So the Bengal's the unique one. The Bengal's the special boy here. All right, or girl. Actually, it looks more feminine now that I look at it. All right, so let me get this out of the box. And I'm going to tell you. I'm going to open this up right now. And I'm going to show you inside. You can see there's very little room in there. And you're asking yourself, why have I taken it out of its internal packaging and put it back in the box? I didn't. The only thing this thing comes packed with is a bag of bubble wrap, 1 layer. That's literally the only thing protecting it from any kind of impact or etc. along the way. So, yeah, you take caution with this one. Now, keep in mind, this is $20 on Amazon, right? So, $25 if the deal isn't running. But for the most part, yeah, you're going to get this thing pretty cheap. So, and the promise is a really big toy for the price. So, what can I actually expect when I actually get it in hand? Well, you're going to get something like this. Oh, nope. Hang on. Hang on, he's saying no. There you go. So, granted, that's actually a pretty big figure. Do I have anything currently that... I don't have anything in robot mode nearby. I don't have anything in robot mode nearby. So, knowing that this is like retails $25, here's a Hasbro $25 toy. Slight difference. Alright, so, okay, admittedly, it's huge for its price. But size doesn't always matter. And size is not an indicator of quality, certainly. We're going to point out the fact that if you look at the head, you actually look at the head sculpt on here, it doesn't really look like the head on the box. I suppose it is, but it's not painted the same, so it kind of just looks like the generic head everybody else has. So again, it looks like I really should have picked the Bengal tiger for this, because she's the only unique one out of the whole batch. Everyone else just kind of has to share what's going on with them. So let's take a look. This white Tiger Zord knockoff-y looking thing. It really is in white Tiger Zord colors. So sculpting wise, it doesn't look too bad. Like, okay, it's big solid chunk parts. You know, there's a lot of tampograph detail on here, which is okay. They didn't paint one side of the tiger's head for some reason. You can see, like, it's painted on the other side. It's painted on the top. I don't know where his stripes on his left cheek went. They aren't here. It's got translucent blue eyes, at least, and they are inset, which Hasbro, I just found out, is just starting to do with their animated Optimus. I am very happy. But looking through it, you actually do have a lot of little black paint going through here, some silver on the knees, a lot of intermixed orange plastic to give it like actual color. Okay, so on that front, it's okay. Like, there's actual color to this thing. So what do we do with articulation? The head goes up and down a little bit. Left to right is also a little bit restricted. Wow. Okay. Heavy ratchets in both directions. All right, that's fine. Mushroom pegs for the biceps. That's elbow joints also. They are doubled, but you can't use both at the same time. There's no clearance for it. But they are ratcheted as well. Waist also ratcheted. Hips ratcheted, but they are very spongy. They are very spongy. Forward and back not ratcheted. Thigh swivel. Ratchet knee. No real ankle tilt. It's just, there's a little bit, but it's mostly on the toes. So, granted, he does have a lot of ratcheted joints. And what surprises me about that is this toy still feels very flimsy. Like, if I start trying to manipulate things, you can see, like, the arms have a lot of, like, space in between all the detents. So, it doesn't quite hit the pose as I ask it to. And there's such a thing as, like, a healthy detent noise and not healthy detent noise. So, if I'm being honest here, I can hear all of this ratcheting, and that sounds like a proper ratchet. That does not. It sounds like some of this is just plastic grinding against plastic, and some of it actually might be spring-loaded. Either way, it doesn't feel great. I'll tell you right now, it just doesn't feel great. And here's the thing. I am not one to get, like... I'm not really one to be a stickler for plastic quality. I have friends who tell me, yeah, Hasbro's toys just feel like the plastic is so much cheaper than it used to be. I'm like, I don't really feel that. I don't really get that from modern Transformers. They feel fine to me. I mean, I'm not throwing them against the wall, so what do I know? But honestly, no. Here I kind of feel it. There's a lot in here I'm not really a fan of. So let me get the gun. The rail gun is actually neat. Like, it's actually like 3-pronged. So it actually does kind of have a cool look to it. I will give it that. It's super awkward in the hand because the hand is fully painted, which means, not even painted, but it's like, it doesn't fit very well. It does make that just a little bit awkward. Okay, so fairly posable. I don't know if those joints are going to break at any moment. They kind of feel and sound like it, but just so you know, like, the feel of the toy is not all that great. So we transform him. If I can remember how to do it, because I haven't done this in a hot minute. But guess what? I'm not gonna need to double check stuff, because this is not the most complex of engineering. So it is basically what you would kind of expect of a toy like this. It is literally just put the legs down, put the arms down, it's, you know, it's an animal now. It does have this motion to it. You do have to put that to the side. That goes, see, I can't remember if it's supposed to go to the front or the back. Doesn't really matter. I think they want you to go to the back. I like it better in the front so you can see the stripes, but whatever. We'll do it their way. All right. Move all this down here. There's parts squeaking. I don't like that. Ah, there we go. Fold out claws. There's nothing for me to catch my finger on to fold these claws out. There we go. See, I'm very haphazardly transforming. I'm not even trying to tell you, like, oh, this is how it transforms. Like, I'm just basically just trying to see how quick I can convert it. All right, this is supposed to... Okay. Hips have to go down like that. And then they peg in there. This is supposed to form the butt of the animal. Come on. There we go. All right, so legs like that. Back to the front. Still need to get the head down. That one, that's actually freaking me right now, I will admit. There we go. Yeah, and then this really is just like the most basic part, where there is a wrist swivel here, but it's so tight, I don't really recommend using it. And then, there we go. And let's see, rotate this one again. Rotate that down. Hands just kind of there. Supposed to fold down and cover it up. There we go. At least kind of. All right, so in like the quickest way I can, that's the conversion into the beast mode. And and you can see it's exceptionally basic. About the only part of like proper transformation is that side hip thing, that sideways knee to get the legs outward, and the head tucking away in the chest. Everything else really is just fold the claws out and put the arms and legs down, and that's your beast mode. So, for a tiger, I mean, proportionally it's way off. Like, if the hips are all the way out here, then we have to agree that's a very scrawny tiger. Though, if you grew up with a Tiger Zord toy, you're probably used to that aesthetic for your white tigers, so I'm not really arguing that one. It is just kind of... I mean, there's nothing more to really say about the beast mode, because it's just, you know, it's just the robot mode on its arm, on its hands and knees, essentially. This is where the head looks way out of proportion. The head is gigantic for what this thing is. That's a little bit weird. That does create some awkwardness. Now, imagine, if you will, there's 7 of these, and they all represent different beast modes with the exact same proportions and shape and engineering. So imagine a dragon that looks like this. Imagine a wolf that looks like this. You know, that's kind of close. But there's also an elephant. Imagine the elephant looking like that. And things get just a little bit weird in this jungle, don't they? So, yeah, it's an awkward toy. It's a very awkward toy. So, if you're curious and you want a different transforming experience and you look at the price and go, that's really cheap and affordable for something that is, you know, that big. Head actually moves too. Jaw moves. Okay, I forgot that. But no, if you want something that's just like, okay, it looks big, it looks dumb, but it's super cheap for what it is, so maybe it'll be worth it. It does have a very odd feel to it, and there's a lot in there that feels cheap. Like, you know, the ratchets don't feel, like, the ratchets are loud, but it doesn't feel like proper ratcheting. I feel like it's gonna break every time I twist one of them. And then for what it is, the transformation is dull. I don't think there's anything to do with this in the beast mode. It probably is. I can't remember it offhand. But no, it's just, it is what it is. It's super cheap. It's super simple. It's okay. I mean, I think if you've got, there's worse things you can spend 20 bucks on that does what a transformer does, but it is just an awkward piece in general. I would generally say avoid it. Maybe get one for like a kid brother or a cousin, so they have something big and goofy to mess with, so they don't break your real transformers. I would call this a distractionary transformer, not a proper alternative though. So there's another one out of the way. Of course, there's tons of transforming toys out there on the market these days. I have a few more I want to look at for this alternative series, but for now, thank you very much for watching. I know there's some out there curious about these, so hopefully this sated a little bit of curiosity for you. And as always, I will see you next time.
We parlay with the captain.
You think a werecroc is going to listen to elvish rules of piracy?
Of course it would be the freaking elves that invented parlay.
I had to think of a quick replacement for the French.